Hello everyone. Okay, so today's topic is how to customize a SharePoint list using PowerApps. So we are going to customize the SharePoint, this list that we see, project approval tracker, using PowerApps. So as you can see, employee name, project details, department, beneficial area, manager, approval status, created by, right? So currently, as you can see, that when the form opens up, you have this out of the box form that is available. What we are going to do is we are going to customize this with the help of PowerApp such that this employee name, it will autofill with the current user details. So whichever is the current user, that will be filled out here, and as soon as that is filled, even the manager name by default will be picked as soon as the, so these two details will be autofilled. This approval status, the manager an email will be sent out to the manager using PowerAutomate, so that the manager can approve that, and whatever will be the response, approve or reject, that will be logged in into this approval status column. Okay, so that's it. Rest of the details will be manually filled. Let's do this. So customize forms, our form is opening up. Skip. Okay, so there we have it. So this is our form, out of the box form that we can see. The first thing that we'll do here is we will go here, change this to 2 columns, and this we don't like much. Let's change it to from vertical to horizontal. Let's keep it 1 row, and this is the format that we like. Okay, name in front of it, the employee name. Okay, let's change the background color as well. So something of a blue. Okay, that will do. Alright, so we have our form. This is the look and feel is good enough. Okay, so now what we want this employee name should come up automatically when the form is opened up, right? And the same thing, this manager of the employee name should also come up automatically when the form open ups, right? So before we go there, let's first do one thing. We will keep this to the new form. So whatever the new entries we made, we will have this information, and let's do this. Alright, advanced, let's unlock this, and we have default selected items. So in this, if we do user function dot full name, right, expected record value. So why we are getting that error, right? See, the error that we are getting, expected table value. this same formula. So this title is a single line text column. If I go to default of this one, see here, let me increase, you can see that the name of the current user has been logged in, right? So it is working, the same formula is working for a text column but not for this employee column. Okay, so let's first change that. So why is that happening? Why this one is giving us the error whereas this title, which is a text column, is not giving us the error? Because this employee name and the manager, they both are people and group column, right? And that's why they need more information, just the full name. So this is the format that we would have to input for the current name. So employee name, by the way, you can go here as well, right, and searching. So I've done here in the advanced text field, as well as you can go here, and in here we are looking for default selected items. Okay, and you can paste the formula here, and as you can see, that has worked, right? The same will reflect here as well. Okay, you see, this has worked. So why this has worked, if you see, this is the connector SharePoint list extender user that we needed, and then the claim user function email. Then that you need the department, which you can leave as blank, right? Display name, where you put the user and the full name that is being reflected right now. Email you can leave blank. Job title and picture, right? With all this information, when you put in, then the people and the group field works. The people and the group field of the SharePoint works, and it's able to function properly. Okay, if you do not want to enter this, instead you use a text column, and there you can have the one-liner command of user function dot full name, right? If you see here, this much will work if you have a text column, whereas you need this full entry, right, if you are using people and group column. Alright, now let's come to manager. So for the manager, same thing, you can go here and select, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock this first, and then default selected items. So in the default selected items, right, what we are going to do, the current user, okay, so the manager, what is the error? Here is, right, it says v2 manager v2 is unknown or unsupported function in the namespace Office 365 users. So we'll go to our data connections, add data connections, and there is an Office 365 connection that we need to create. Okay, if you have not created this already, then you can create the connection, right? So you can go to PowerApp and connections, new connection, insert here, Office 365 standard users. We created that, and that is being shown as well, right, as we can see here. So I'll take that, and as soon as I created the connection, the error is gone there. Okay, so this is our basic form. And see, similarly, right, you did not need this full item, you just need this much, and if you put that in a text column, right, you will get the username, the manager name. See, the whole thing was not needed in a simple text column. But if you do that here, right, if I do that here, I will get the error that expected table value, or it will say expected record value, since this is a people and group column, right. So there we go. So we have our employee name, which will by default login. Let's take a preview. So as soon as you open this form, you will have your employee name pulled in and the manager of that particular employee detail pulled in, right. The department, you can select the different departments, that is a choice column, title, project details, beneficiary area, you can have multiple select in beneficiary area, right, and that is it. We wanted only these two details. The approval status, this one, this we are going to control through our PowerAutomate that we'll put behind this. Okay, so we are going to make this two column view only, so that they won't be able to change it. But before I do that, let me show you one more thing. Okay, or before I do that, let's do this. So see, if I want to make currently, if this form is played and I can, so I can remove that user and I can put in any other user detail there, like cloud user 3, right, and that will take the detail because the user can edit it. So what we are going to do here is we are going to restrict that. Okay, so cloud user 3, if you see, I cannot change that from here. So what I'll do here is I will search for display mode and we will have display mode dot view. Done. Okay, now this field is not editable, right. this field is, let's remove this, and let's check the manager's formula once. Okay, when the form will load, it will take in the user manager's name here. Done. We've made this view only. These two details will be pulled up. Okay, let's check this much. So here we are at our form. Okay, so we'll refresh the list, do it again, and as we can see, employee name and the manager name is pulled in, and if I try to change this, I'm not able to change it because this is view only. Okay, so this is done. Before I proceed to the PowerAutomate, let me show you one more thing. So now if this field is removed and changed to any other user, right, say for example cloud user 1, okay, as you can see this field does not change corresponding to this field, because the formula in this field is that it will pick up the user manager who's logged in. So currently this user is logged in, right? That's why no matter which user you put in here, it will always show the manager of this particular user, and this we've made non-editable. We can make this also non-editable and keep it as view, so the users won't be able to change it. In your requirement, say if there is a ask that the user detail has to be put in, and corresponding to whichever user you put in, the manager should show in, right? So there we just need to tweak the formula one little instance there, and that thing also will work, right? If you're wondering how you can put someone as manager, so go to your administrator, active user, and for cloud user 1, let's say, right, there is the manager section. Let's add a manager for this user, cloud user 2, save changes, done. So we've put in the manager for cloud user 1. Okay, so to fulfill the current requirement, let's change that. So I'll just show you in the formula what changes need to be made. Skip. Alright, so what we want is that this, right, should show whichever user this field has. So this field, employee name, right, this field, whichever entry is there in this, that corresponding to that the manager should reflect here. So the employee field, if you see, the data card value is 1, right, and this manager is data card value 6. So we just need the employee's name. Data card value will go to our formula. Sidebar not coming. Okay, here we are in the formula. So in the formula, right, if I show you here, what you have to do here is, wherever you have this user profile, change that by data card value dot selected, and the data card value that we are going to reference to is 1. Whichever user detail is logged into the first data card value, that is the employee name, the manager of that should pull up. So we'll go here, user function, we'll change that user function to data card value selected. Similarly, user function data card value selected, and user function data card value selected. Okay, and data card value 1. So we'll go here, change this. It's working. Come back to the formula again. There we go. Right, now let's check for another user. So this field is still non-editable, right, and we are going to change this to cloud user 1, and as you can see, the manager cloud user 2 is reflecting. So based on the changes that you make to this column, whichever user you put in here, the same users manager will reflect here. If you make the change from user profile for this manager, if you change in here, right, this data card value dot selected, right. Okay, so this was for demonstration purpose. Let's go back to our user value. One more there, and user function. That's it, done. And you can see the contrasting change. No matter which user you put in here, all you are going to have is the user of the current user which is logged in, the manager of the current user which is logged in, right. No matter, even for cloud user 1, it is showing cloud user 1. So let's do one thing. Let's make this also view read only, so that no one can make Any changes to this as well? Let's check the formula once. Display. Done. So we made this view only, this is view only, rest all items will be selected by the users, right? And that is it. Let's publish this to save and publish. Let's check our form. Refresh once. And we are still able to make changes that we should not be able to make changes to the first column as well. And there you go. Okay, needed to refresh it. So here we have our form. Before we fill our form, let's connect. So what we are going to do, our first part is done. We have customized this list. So from the out of the box field, now it is giving a customized form field where the current user and the manager's detail is auto filled. The rest all the entries can be filled in, right? And then what we are going to do is we are going to send an approval email to the manager, and whatever manager responds, approve or rejected, that will be filled here. Okay, so let's build a PowerAutomate. Create a flow, and we are going to have so we created the form for new. What we are going to have is we are going to create when an item is created. I'm not going to name it anything, that's fine. Our site, and the list, a project approval tracker. So when an item is created, we will send an approval email, start and wait for approval, approval type, approve, reject, fast to respond. We will name it approval, assigned to, so this will pick up from the dynamic content, manager email, no details, nothing is needed. Once the email is sent, update item. So after that we are going to update that particular item. Title will be whatever title that is set. We are looking for one field which is approval status. So in the approval status, enter custom value dynamic outcome of the approval, and that is it. There you go, we have created the flow. Now it's time to check. So employee name, department, let's IT department, title, new project, project detail, checking the PowerApp, benefit areas, beneficial, financial, efficiency, approval status is non-editable. Okay, so we have to make this also non-editable, right? And we are going to save. So this is an entry which has been saved, created by this user, which is logged in, manager, efficiency, IT, right? Now this approval status should be updated. So let's go to the manager's inbox, cloud user 1. We are waiting for an email. Meanwhile the same list, let's open the same list for this particular user while we are getting the email. Fix connection, allow, and we can see employee name cloud user 1 and the manager cloud user 2, right? So it's picking up the correct detail. We have not received, yes, we have received the email. The first email takes some time to receive, and we are going to say reject. In the comment section you can leave it blank as well, no issues. Now going back to our list, let's refresh it. And there you go, right? So that has been updated. So this is it. This is the whole video for this topic. We have completed all the sections. You can make this approval status as view only from the display mode that was left, but I've shown you how to do that. In this video we have checked how we can get the default employee name, people and group section from the logged in user function dot full name you can put in. If you put user function dot email, then this will show the email instead, right? If this is a text column, then you can use user function dot full name, right? If it's a people and groups column, then you would have to put in the whole detail instead, right? Same goes for manager. So in the manager, the formula changes from user function. You would have to enter this detail, Office 365 users manager v2, right? So if you are going to use the current user logged in manager, then you will use this line. Otherwise, if you are using whichever user is logged in that user's detail, then you will change this user function to data card value to whatever number that user's detail is there, that value. So these are the two details that we checked in. Okay, So text column was done, users email, manager's email is there that you can check in. Then you can make both this column as view only non-editable by changing the display mode. And then in the last, the PowerAutomate form, so that the approval status, whichever is the response, that can be logged in. That is all. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.